Let's rock and roll. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Hi, my name's Katie. I'm the social media manager.
I'm Samantha. I'm the director.
And we work at the Cattery.
Yeah.
Today, hot topic here, kind of a hot take here. Not for us, but for a lot of people, apparently. Not being negative. Kind of sums it up.
Yeah.
Not being, well, that's too vague.
That's a double negative. Not.
Don't not be negative. Don't be positively negative. Anyways, well, this one's gonna need some editing. I think, okay, this is what happened. This is what happens all the time, I should say. People will get in the comments and get really riled up about certain things, and they'll be very negative about the situation or about, let's say that like a cat was returned, for example. Just so I mean, I'll use a pretty direct example. Bellamy was returned not too long ago. Yeah, I think we've talked about Bellamy before being returned, but it came up again recently, so we want to kind of bring that up again. Bellamy being returned, it's been difficult for people to accept this truth. Like, yes, he was returned. I think a lot of initial reactions were maybe shocked, angry, upset.
Yeah, people have it, I guess, in their heads that everything is a fairy tale or should be a fairy tale, and that real life never comes into play when you have an animal.
Right. Honestly.
So
happily ever after.
The amount of times that I've heard, I would never do that.
Oh yeah.
My baby is my life. I would keep them forever. Nothing could make me give up my cat or my dog.
Yeah.
Like, come on, y'all.
Yeah.
Like, one of my favorite videos Katie ever did was when she what are those called? The crystal ball reader.
Oh yeah, the magic. It was a crystal ball.
But what is that lady called that reads the,
like a mystic lady? Well, I don't know.
Not a tarot card reader.
No,
obviously, because it's not a tarot card.
I don't know what they're called. What are they called? A mystic, I think. Like a mystic who looks in the crystal ball. Yes, we do vet adopters. That's something unique that we do at our shelter. I know that other shelters don't do. We actually consult a crystal ball. The crystal ball tells us what is going to happen in the adopter's life before the adopter even knows, and helps us see if they will ever have a traumatic life event that's going to force them to surrender the cat. I see a divorce in her future. This guy is going to lose his job and his house. That's an eviction, which means he can't have a cat. This guy's going to die before his cat, and none of the family can take the cat. They're all allergic and they all live out of state, which means no cat. Is it ethical for me to tell him when he's gonna die?
What are you doing?
Oh. The fact is, sometimes things happen to people that are unpredictable. We do our best to vet and support adopters throughout the adoption process, even after the adoption process. And if things don't work out, we're still here to support them and the cats. Shit happens. Spread love, not hate.
So it's just like people hear of a cat or a dog that goes back to a shelter or whatever, and they just automatically assume
the worst.
The people didn't love them. I can't believe they did that, blah blah blah. Well, like in Bellamy's case, he's a very his
demanding
needs, yeah his needs are very specific, and he doesn't work out in every family, and we obviously haven't put him with every family.
Yeah.
So, surprise, Bellamy didn't like the little dogs that the family had.
Yeah.
So that doesn't mean that they didn't try or that they didn't love Bellamy or that Bellamy is bad, which of course no one would ever assume.
No, he's a good boy. He's the best boy.
No, it could never be the cat.
No, it's not the cat.
Of course
it's
not.
Those dogs. I'm just kidding. It's not the dogs either. It's just not a good fit.
Yeah, there's such a thing as not a good fit. And people think that, well, you took on the animal, you should take care of it forever. Who does that serve? you sitting at your computer,
Yeah, honestly.
like getting
That's it.
mad that a cat was returned to the shelter.
Yep.
Like that was best for the family and best for Bellamy.
Exactly. And best for me. I miss that guy. I love that cat. He was gone for like 4 or 5 months. He was gone for a while. They didn't just like try for 2 days and bring him back. Like he was gone for a long time. They were really, I feel like they gave it their best effort. They even like had like TikTok videos of him and stuff. They were doing stuff. Like they were trying to make it work. They weren't planning on bringing Bellamy back right away or anything. But that time that he was gone, I would look at pictures of Bellamy and be like, oh, I miss that guy. He was so fun. Good boy. But yeah, I think people just immediately jump to assuming that something has gone wrong with the person. What's worse is when they assume that we didn't do our job, though.
Yeah, we didn't. Like we can't put a cat in every single situation.
No.
And know what's best. Like we knew his temperament.
Yep.
We know that he gets overwhelmed by aggressive male or female cats.
Yeah.
So he needs to be the dominant one, but he's really not dominant.
No. He's a big baby.
He's a big baby. Except when it comes to little dogs, apparently. But we didn't know that.
No, we don't have little dogs running around here. Like it's not something we can just test.
So Bellamy was here as a kitten. He went from here to, I believe it was always a single lady.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she had a husband, but when we took him back, she was single. So I think it was always a single person with another cat. So in Bellamy's whole life, he had never been around dogs. And that doesn't mean that any cat wouldn't do well in that situation.
Yeah.
Some cats are fine as adults meeting dogs and doing well with dogs. So we don't know. So we're not going to only hold Bellamy for a single lady that has one other cat.
No.
We're going to try him in other situations and see if he succeeds.
Exactly. And hope he does.
And most cats will succeed.
Yeah.
Like if they're introduced properly, and we gave all that information to the people and they did all the stuff and it still didn't work. Exactly. So why cats can live a long time. Bellamy's not that old.
No.
So why should Bellamy have to suffer for the rest of his life?
Yeah.
And the family have to suffer and their dogs have to suffer.
Yeah, exactly.
So the people at home behind the keyboard can feel good about it.
Exactly.
Like, no, that's not fair to anyone.
It's not. It was honestly the best thing for them to just bring him back. And I can't even imagine a cat like Bellamy. He's somewhat famous. Having to return a somewhat famous cat to a shelter, that couldn't have been a very fun decision to have to make.
No, and
especially knowing there's a bunch of keyboard warriors out there who are gonna be really upset about it.
No, so they very easily could have rehomed him on their own.
Yep.
Which, after people have a cat for a while, they know them better than we ever could. The Bellamy's an exception because we had him for a long time.
Yeah.
But if we adopt out a kitten that we had for 3 weeks and you had a cat for 8 years, you know that cat better than us. So yeah, rehome him. But they didn't do that. They brought Bellamy back to the people that knew him best in this situation and could find him a new home, and that deserves accolades, not
honestly. Good for them.
Not negativity.
We're happy they tried it out, and I'm sorry it didn't work out. But
and the thing is, like, when the brain, humans, I guess, not just the brain, the whole humans as a whole, it's ingrained in us to like look up negativity bias. I'm not going to go into it, but it's easier for us, for some reason that you'll learn if you look it up, to be negative.
Yeah.
To assume the worst.
Yeah.
You have to purposely and empathetically try to flip the script and think about things in a different way.
Exactly.
So many people, I could never how could they do that? People do this too much. I don't understand how anyone could ever do that.
Right.
Well, there are circumstances, and if you look at it in a different way with empathy,
Yeah.
you might be able to put yourself in those shoes.
Exactly.
Like, hopefully this has never happened to you, but people become homeless.
Yep.
People have to move in with other people that are allergic.
Exactly.
People develop allergies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sometimes people say, oh my God, they had allergies. I can't believe they didn't just live with it. Well, like,
oh my God.
Have you had the worst allergies that are possible? No, probably not.
Probably not.
You don't know if that person did.
God.
And I responded to a comment on Facebook with this the other day. Yesterday, whatever.
Someday.
Someday. Probably multiple times.
Yeah.
In 16 years of doing this, I have never seen an owner return where they were happy to get rid of the cat.
No. Mm-mm. It's usually very, very sad and very quiet and very, very sad.
They don't like jump up and down and for any reason, whether or not that's a reason that we could see ourselves using or doing or whatever.
Yeah.
They put thought into it. That it's just like people don't, as much as people want to believe, people don't adopt a cat with the intention of ever bringing it back.
No.
It's like people don't.
It just doesn't happen.
It doesn't. Like, you
it
don't
does not happen.
Plan your day to go meet cats, find the perfect one.
Can't wait to bring this one back.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen. Promise.
I mean, we have had people that adopt a cat and their cat freaked out.
Yeah.
That night, and it was so disturbing to them that even though we give people resources on how to introduce, we have multiple videos, we talk them through it, it was so upsetting. Like, and I'm thinking of one person in particular, but this happens all the time. Their cat freaked out so much, and it was like they hadn't even seen each other. The cat just smelled the kitten or whatever.
Aww.
The cat reacted so poorly, and it was so traumatic for the people that they couldn't go through the steps.
Yeah.
Like, those aren't bad people.
No. They're putting their original cat first, and that's
Yes.
they're so affected by their original fur baby being so upset that they couldn't. And then they had to make that decision to bring their new fur baby back.
And they cried like babies.
Yep.
After one night of having the cat, they cried like babies.
I'm gonna cry.
So it's just, I don't know if it's just easier for people to believe the worst in other people.
Yeah.
And it's really not the case. And every time I say this, and this happened yesterday when I made this comment, people have to argue. Yeah. Especially rescuers.
Oh my
and
God.
They like to
demonize people.
But they want to compare the horrible things that we've seen. Mm-hmm. And use that as a reason why all people are bad. And there's no point in listing out every bad thing you've ever heard about or ever seen that a person has done to an animal. Yes, we know animal abuse happens, but if every person that we gave a cat to was a bad person, no one would do this anymore.
Honestly.
And you're not thinking about the 99% of people that are good people and it works out great and whatever. You're focusing and assuming that every cat returned is for some bad reason on the person's.
It's just not true.
So another thing that people like to say is, yeah, I could be empathetic, except for people that dump animals. Well, let's think about this a little more.
Yeah.
One, we get so many requests to take cats of, this cat was obviously dumped because it's friendly. Well, lots of people feed cats. They just leave out food so they get friendly, especially in apartment complexes.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone says that people in apartments aren't responsible and they leave their pets behind. That's not always true. Well, people are empathetic to a little stray cat and they put food out for it and it gets friendly.
That's what I've been doing with my neighbor's cat.
It doesn't mean that the cat was dumped.
No.
But also, what if, so a lot of people just don't realize how full shelters stay and how many animals or strays that there are.
Yeah.
Like there are tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, stray cats in our city. Just
Yeah.
our city.
Exactly. Just our city.
And
Corpus.
so a good thing that animal shelters have done in telling their stories is making people aware that they can help these animals. So more people are helping,
Mm-hmm.
which means more people are asking shelters to take cats.
Mm-hmm.
And for example, yesterday I hadn't answered the emails in a couple days because I was off. Oh my God, I was off.
That's insane. You're
I
not allowed to
know.
take any time off. How dare you?
You would think with some of the people demanding a response in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But we had 14 slots that we could take in. 14. Mm-hmm. I literally had to say no to 200 cats yesterday.
Oh my God.
And what are people supposed to do? So what if there is a legit emergency in their life, mm-hmm. and all they could do was leave their pets behind and hope to God that somebody could help them?
Right.
Because they did try to rehome them. They did try every shelter in the city that they live in. They did all the things that people behind their computers deem the responsible thing to do when you own an animal. What if they did all that? What if you did all that?
Yeah. Then what?
Then what? And yeah. Say you have to leave on an emergency flight to go take care of your mom who's in the hospital and dying.
Yep.
Unexpectedly, or whatever, something that is permanent.
Right.
Then what? What is that person supposed to do?
Exactly.
And before anyone says it, no, you don't leave them at a shelter. Like, no. We've done podcasts on that. Mm-hmm. You don't overburden an already burdened shelter to make them go broke or
irresponsible. Yeah. Irresponsible care for
cats in their care and whatever. You don't do that.
Not fair.
So what are they supposed to do in that situation? Think about how hard it would be to make that decision.
Exactly. That's called empathy.
Yeah.
Trying to put yourself in their position and understand what could have possibly led up to that. And then again, not assuming that you know the whole story and immediately judging people on that. That's messed up.
I think that's maybe one of the reasons why people don't want to be empathetic, because they don't ever want to have to think of themselves being in a situation where they have to make that decision.
Right. That's a good point. That's very deep.
That is deep. I just came up with that right now.
Damn, you should write a class or something.
So, I mean, like, what then?
I don't know. It's sad.
And am I mad that this happens? Of course. But am I, like, deeply saddened that someone had to make that decision for a pet that they loved?
Yep.
Of course.
Both can exist together. Yeah, it's obviously not ideal. Like, that's not ideal, but it's also, it just happens, and you can't be, I don't know. You can't be ugly with people for having to do ugly things that they don't want to do. Like, nobody wants to dump their pet.
And, you know, what if the same thing happened if you have a child?
Yeah.
There's a place for the child to go. There's always a place.
Yep.
For a kid to go. There are orphanages and there are foster care and there's a whole system. Yep. There's not a system for animals.
Nope. Not a formal one.
No.
It's just what we're doing.
Yeah.
And it's overburdened. There's so many. We're always, like Sam said, we're always at capacity. We're always operating at max capacity at all times. Pretty much.
And some people would say take them to the city shelter. Well, not every city shelter will take in every animal that you try to drop off.
Yep.
And I know that city shelters are, in most places, open admission, but they're not all open admission. Like ours here in Corpus is not open admission. Mm-mm. They turn people away all the time.
Yeah.
So then what? Is my question for the audience. Doesn't mean they're a bad person. It means they're in a horrible situation.
Exactly.
That there's no answer to. I think that's it.
Yeah, have empathy, people. Be nice.
Oh, there's actually one more point.
Oh, what is it?
Everybody out there behind their computers or phones or tablets that always think these negative thoughts, who does that hurt?
Yeah.
You. It hurts you.
Mm-hmm.
It makes your life more stressful. It makes you get compassion fatigue. It makes you not be able to show up 100% in your life because you're always negative.
Yep.
And you're always thinking the worst of people. And that's just not a great way to live life, always being frustrated and angry and negative. So, if you can't do it because you think the people themselves are horrible, do it for yourself. Like, try to switch it around.
I love that.
For yourself, so you feel better, so you don't have to walk around thinking that every single person is a terrible person.
I love that. That's perfect. Exactly.
Yay.
Take care of yourself. Not everyone's evil. Not even you.
And I think we'll end it on that.
Sounds good.
Follow us all the places.
Yeah, go follow us on all the socials. Make sure you subscribe here on YouTube so you don't miss PODKATZ. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.